I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. It. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucked.
Fly ball blasted way back and gone. Grand slam, Cal Raleigh.
You are champions. You have done it through our mentality of every freaking day. Next year, that's what it's going to take.
Here we go, another edition of the Daily Puck Drop here on a Tuesday. What are we going to get into today? Well, Cal Raleigh dumping all over the Cincinnati Reds. We'll touch in on that. Seahawks training camp getting underway later this week. A surprise coming out on Monday. Nick Emmanwori placed on the IL. I said IL. I got baseball in mind, PUP. But whatever, he's injured. He's not going to be ready. Doesn't sound like for the start of camp. It's a Tuesday. We'll talk to John Canzano coming up here in a few minutes. John, we're going to cover a lot. John Canzano's got his Camp Exceptional that's going on. He's going to give you more details on what he's been doing for the past 14 years, working with kids in the Portland area. It is just phenomenal work by John and his entire family and his foundation of giving back to the community and giving back to kids who, just don't have the opportunities like a lot of other kids. It really is one of the most remarkable things. In fact, it's the best thing that John does. It's better than the writing. It's better than all the media. Brad Adam, it has been a while. We'll talk to Brad as well. Mariners television, exciting win there on Monday. We'll get into that. We will also discuss, where the state of the team is right now. Would we be surprised? I posed this question to Brad. Would you be surprised after the deadline if all 6 starters were still here? Also with Brad, he throws out a surprise bat for the Mariners because we talked what they would add at the deadline, and then he throws out a name that's currently in the organization just down in the minors that could he be a possibility at all for Seattle? We'll see. As always, we broadcast from the Limback Lumber Studios. It would not be possible without fine folks there at Limback Lumber. They offer free deliveries, everything from whole house packages to homeowner do-it-yourself projects. They have been doing business since 1930. So you know what? That tells me they know what they're doing. Old school service. Even if you don't need lumber, go in there and just visit them. Paul, Mark, everybody, the entire crew, Matt, and just look around. They've got so much cool stuff in there. It is also, I've said this many times, it's like a sports shrine inside there at Limback Lumber. Give them a call. Tell them I sent you. 206-782-3487. You can visit their website, limbacklumber.com. You can always visit me on social media. We try to make you laugh, but it's hard to laugh anymore on social media, but we try to do it. Have fun with it. It's still a place where you can have fun. Okay, it is. Don't engage. It's not a place where you can agree to disagree, that old social media. But Puck Sports everywhere, except for TikTok. We put all our show clips up there if you want to check it out. Also, go visit pucksports.com. Throughout the week, we give you bonus shows. The Sports Pit on Tuesdays with Stretch. We also have Inside Pitch, the full Inside Pitch with Divish on Wednesdays, and KJ Arntz on Thursdays with Mitchie, the kid. Those all are available for Puck's Posse members. So you'd like to get even more bonus content, you can sign up there today. If you'd like to, and you're like, I just can't afford it, we always will help you out. Send me an email, puck@pucksports.com. Well, we came into the show, before we get to Canzano, let's talk a little Mariners. We came into the show with the highlight there of Cal Raleigh, and the collective just like, finally there for Cal Raleigh as he hit that grand slam home run. I bring this up to Brad. You're going to hear it coming up a little bit later in the show, but I'll just use it here. How much money would I have to pay you in the beginning of the season if I told you that later that year, in late July, Terry Francona, who's one of the best managers in baseball, has been for a while, is going to intentionally walk Dom frickin' Canzano to get to Cal Raleigh, who's coming off a year in which he had 60 home runs. And he's going to intentionally walk Canzano with the left-hander, knowing that the guy that he's walking, that he's going to face, is a switch hitter. And then promptly as he hangs a curveball, he sends it there to left field, Cal Raleigh with the grand slam. And hopefully that's it. You always look for a moment that sparks the team, a moment that sparks the player. Maybe that's the moment for Cal Raleigh. As Kruger said on Monday's show, where he does his damage, obviously, is with the home runs and hitting for power, and he's a slugger. He's not a polished hitter. He's never a guy that's going to hit for a high average. That will never be Cal Raleigh's game. But what you saw last night on Monday, that is Cal Raleigh's game. Power, legitimate power, and that's what's been missing from this team this year has been him. When you boil it down, guys are having good seasons. Julio's putting up the season that he would normally put up. Just is. Now Naylor's underachieved. But Randy's having a career year. He's been great. You've had great years from Canzano and besides of late, Luke Raley. You've had contributions for all these guys. It's been one guy. Now, baseball is a weird sport. It's a team sport. But I always say when I'm watching 12-year-old baseball here in the summer, talking to parents, it's the most, as everyone knows, it's the most individual team sport there is baseball. And for Cal, that's been the biggest difference. So you can add whatever they're going to add at the deadline, and it's a right-handed batter or a high-leverage reliever at the end, fine. But they're not going to go anywhere unless that guy picks it up. You expect Julio to have that second-half turnaround and that he usually has had in the past, but it's the catcher. And that was a great sign last night. That was a huge moment, just his 10th home run this season, his first home run since July 4th. It's just his second home run overall since June 24th. Much needed win. And at the end of the day, if you had not watched the game and just looked at the box score, you'd be like, oh, they beat the crap out of him. That was a blowout. That's a tight ball game going to the seventh inning. 1-0. It worked out. So you can't sit here and just overly criticize him and spend too much time on it today. That would be, poor form. But I probably, like many of you, did not agree with the decision to take George Kirby out. I don't care if it's been 2 weeks. The guy had given up 3 hits. They weren't touching him. They're terrible. Got no runs. How many did he strike out? 8 or 6? 80 pitches? Do they not do anything in the 2 weeks? I know it's not the same in the leverage and all that. But was his arms, we couldn't go past 80 with him, especially with your bullpen, the situation that your bullpen was in? And I could understand if it was 4-0, 5-0, maybe even 3-0, or even 8-0 like it ended up. Not 1-0. It worked out. But that's playing with fire, and it was, I don't know, did not agree with that situation there and decision there by Dan Wilson. I'm glad we traded Edwin Arroyo. He was a mess at second base. I know he ran into the fat umpire as well, but he had that ball that, first of all, he gets thrown out at home by Victor Robles in the third inning. He bobbles a ball. He messes up a double play. He was the Reds, man. That's a bad team. Is Suarez, is Eugenio available to pick back up? I was thinking about that today. MLB Network, my favorite show, the morning show. It's the greatest show in the world. Why no one, you should, if you're not watching it, watch it every morning. They did a piece this morning on guys they would all like to see traded, that they would be good fits for other teams. Now, they didn't specifically mention Seattle, but they brought up our old friend Ty France. And I thought, Ty France. Would Ty France be a fit here? Of course he'd be a fit here. He's hit here before. He's had great success here. Put Ty France on your radar. I wonder if they would revisit Ty France. And I don't know where you would play him. You figure that all out. But they're looking for a right-handed bat. What about Suarez? Could you entice bringing him back? That's somebody they could use. They're terrible. The Reds are awful. Bring Suarez back. Good job by Robles last night in that game. Julio, are you like me when you watched the broadcast last night and they kept talking about, he grabbed his hamstring? To me, it looked like he grabbed his ass where he got hit, that he didn't grab his hamstring. And if he really had to come out of the game because he got hit in the butt, that's kind of, really? It hurt that bad? I mean, so probably was the hamstring, but to me, when they're like, wow, he grabs his hamstring, really just looked like he grabbed his ass right where he got hit with the ball. They'll be back at it, of course, later today there on Tuesday night as they continue their series with the Reds. Luis Castillo, speaking of guys that may or not be traded, we'll get into that. Brad Adam coming up a little bit later in the show, but Luis Castillo on the mound, perhaps. Let's see. No, he'd make one more start, right? Perhaps one of the last few starts you'll ever see Luis Castillo in a Mariners uniform. Speaking of trading, guys, I wanted to touch on this one. We'll bring it up on Thursday with Jim Duquette because he does a show with Jim Bowden. But Jim Bowden, for The Athletic, suggested a trade and wrote about 5 trades that he would like to see. And he mentioned Seattle being in there and trading one of their starters. But it's not Luis Castillo. He mentions trading George Kirby. No bueno. Kirby, he suggests trading George Kirby to the San Francisco Giants for utility player Casey Schmidt and left-hand pitcher Eric Miller. My first reaction when I read this was, this is why he's no longer a GM. Should I use that on Duquette on Thursday? Or is that over the line? Because I'm really contemplating using that with him. Schmidt is having a great season. Was having a great season, by the way. He's right-handed bat. He's a true third baseman. Plays everywhere. Can play in the outfield. Hell, he can play catcher if you need him. 275, 304, 482. OPS of 786. 19 home runs, 50 ribbies. He's crushing left-handers. OPS of 845, slugging 505. He's been good against righties, too, so it's not like a platoon situation with him. You got him under control as a free agent in 30. But in the last month, he's been terrible. I mean, terrible. He's got an OPS of 575. And before this year where he's found it, he has not been good. Eric Miller, if you don't know who he is, he's a left-hand reliever under club control. For a couple of more years, he's pitched in a little over 28 innings. He's got an ERA of 3.18, 40 Ks, and 20 walks. There is not a chance in bloody hell I would do that deal. There is no way I would move George Kirby for those two guys. Kirby's got a 3.58 ERA in his career. He's a top-of-the-line, frontline starter in Major League Baseball. So there's just, you're trading somebody like George Kirby, you got to get way more than that. As I mentioned in the rundown, I've got Nick Emmanwori on the IL. I know he's not on the IL. It's the PUP. I got baseball in my mind. Camp starts on Saturday. He joins, does Emmanwori, Tyrone Broden, and also McIntosh of being Kenny McIntosh, which is unfortunate. God, I thought McIntosh would be healthy by now. I mean, he suffered that ACL back in training camp. So the fact that Kenny McIntosh isn't ready yet, that's kind of a bad sign. I don't know what that means for Zach Charbonnet, other than Zach Charbonnet nor Torrey Horton were on that PUP yet. Maybe they haven't taken their physicals as of yet, but we'll find out with Emmanwori. By all reports, everybody who saw him, right, he was in all the offseason workouts, and that ended, in June? So something happened, I think it was June 9th or 10th. So something may have happened last month. Failed his physical. I don't know what he did. But we'll find out coming up this week as they start training camp. It's just amazing. They report on Friday and practice on Saturday. It's already here. I was thinking about this the other day. We got a couple more baseball tournaments coming up. I mentioned that our baseball team is going to Cooperstown, and then right when we get back from Cooperstown, we start football practice. I mean, it's summer's over almost for us. It goes too fast. Can we not have September? Can September now be a part of summer? Can we start school in October? Is there any chance of that? Now, everything that we're doing is fun, but don't you want a little bit more? Don't you want a longer summer a little bit? Hard Knocks, the trailer for Hard Knocks has come out today. Did I have that? Where's that trailer for Hard Knocks? I got to find it. Boy, I'm telling you, I haven't watched it in a bit. But boy, watching this trailer that came out today, it got my juices flowing for the start of the season. But Hard Knocks announced today when they released this 15-second, or it's a little bit longer, 15-second trailer on YouTube today. They announced the show is going to debut. They moved it up. A week. It's actually going to debut on August 4th, 9 o'clock. Final episode will be there on September 1st. So they did a little bit of a date change, and Hard Knocks is ready to go. Here's the trailer that was put out today by the NFL.
Man, you are champion! You have done it through our mentality of every freaking day. Next year, that's what it's going to take.
Let's go figure out how to get better from last year. We're just going to keep attacking.
12 is 1, okay? It's a relentless attitude.
This organization knows success.
The Seahawks and John Schneider made big moves.
We coming back next year.
Training camp, it's mental and physical preparation.
This locker room is unlike any locker room I've ever been a part of.
We got to get this on camera right here.
Let's do what we do, baby. Let's spin. Let's go.
About, I don't know if that doesn't get you fired up, I don't know what does. I was thinking about Devin Witherspoon is going to be great on Hard Knocks, so I'm looking forward to that. That is going to be the best training camp environment that Hard Knocks HBO has ever been in. So again, it will premiere on August 4th, 9 o'clock there on HBO. All right, every Tuesday we talk to John Canzano from the Bald-Faced Truth. Of course, he's got a new show, BFT Unfiltered. It airs Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays on YouTube. Tuesdays and Thursdays, exclusive shows there on all of his podcast platforms. He joins us every single week, brought to you by Flat Stick Pub. We talk about in our conversation today, we're going to get into his camp that he does for kids. If you don't know anything about it, go to John Canzano or thebaldfacedtruth.org/camp exceptional. It's fantastic what he does. We also touch in on this storyline that's coming out here in the last 24 hours. The SEC serious about breaking away from the NCAA. And we also touch in on the growing mess that is the Blazers and Tom Dundon. City reached out. They offered a deal or an olive branch. And Tom Dundon, because he's playing the Clay Bennett playbook, wants no part of it. Our weekly chat with John Canzano next, all brought to you by Flat Stick Pub. If it's fun you desire, it's fun you're going to get at Flat Stick Pub. It doesn't matter what the occasion is, whether it's date night, guys night, ladies night, or large group event, Flat Stick Pub's got you covered. They have 6 great locations across the Pacific Northwest, from Pioneer Square to Kirkland, South Lake Union, Spokane, Bellingham, and Redmond. All locations offer the best pub experience in Washington. 2 rules at Flat Stick Pub: drink local and have fun. Pretty simple. So if you like to have fun, love local beer, and great tasting food, make Flat Stick Pub your next spot. Visit them at flatstickpub.com. Our weekly chat with John Canzano, BFT Unfiltered. He is our good friend who joins us. We have not talked to him in a long time. Of course, you can check out his new YouTube show there. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, BFT Unfiltered. Tuesdays, Thursdays, exclusive episodes on all podcast platforms. His weekly chat with us brought to you by Flat Stick Pub. You are not in your normal Canzano BFT Unfiltered studio. Where do we find you on this Tuesday?
I am in the wild, as they say. Okay, so I am out at LaSalle High School in Milwaukee, Oregon. You can see the football field behind me. I'm in the press box. But Camp Exceptional is going on this week. It's the summer camp that we run for special needs kids and typical kids. It's a sports camp. It's baseball day today. There's a sports theme each day. Today is baseball, so they're out on the baseball field. But you got about 100 kids and camp. A bunch of sponsors that have been involved. But, Puck, you and I talk about this. You have kids. You're a baseball dad. You're a youth sports dad. There's nothing more important we do than connect kids with sports. We can talk about it. We can pretend our jobs are important. Let's talk about what we know. But in the end, if we can get some kids engaged and talking to each other and get them off their devices, we've all won.
I think you and I both probably agree with this. And there's other, the arts, music, all of it. I don't think there's anything in this world that unites, and we just saw it in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Unites people better than sports. And I think especially life lessons for kids in all ages of kids, in all capabilities and abilities for kids.
Yeah.
There's so many unbelievable, powerful lessons from sports. And what you're doing there is just sensational, because I think kids, if they have a disability, whether it's physical or mental, they get left behind. They're told, oh, you can't play, or you can't do this, or you can't do that. And that's wrong, because there's so much growth that those kids can make through sports.
Well, think about this. They were doing an activity yesterday, and it was typical kids in the same group as kids that maybe have a sight impairment or a physical or intellectual disability. And they were going through a number of different exercises where they were taking the kids and they were blindfolding everyone and going, okay, look, this is what it's like to be sight impaired. This is what it's like. They had to put oven mitts on and this is what it's like if you have sort of a physical disability with your hands. And then, by the end of the camp, it's really cool because it's a sports camp, but it's more of a relationship camp. Portland State football team is out here. They volunteer. They are the team leaders. Linfield College football players are out here. They volunteer. High school athletes are out here volunteering. It brings everybody together in one place. But by the end of the week, those kids that maybe feel a little marginalized and isolated on their campuses when they go to school next year, they're going to know kids from this camp that on their own school. And so I think one of the beautiful things is this is year number 14 of the camp. And we now have camp counselors who are former campers. And some of those campers had special needs, and they are now working as camp counselors at the camp. It's like, it's become this cultural experience.
I know you're going to write about it. I know you have written about it in the past. How did this all come together for you?
My brother is an adaptive PE specialist in California, and he had developed a program with Fresno State. He was using Fresno State athletes to work one-on-one with kids who had disabilities. And I had formed the BFT Foundation, the Bald Face Truth Foundation, in 2009 because I thought, hell, I'm doing some stuff on radio. I want to get into heaven. Let's try to do something good with this godforsaken platform. And, that industry, as you know, has a dark underbelly. So let's do something good with it. I thought, let's raise some money. Let's give it away to teachers and schools. And so we really were focused on co-curricular activities, art, music, education, athletics. But we don't have a staff to facilitate events. And so my brother was telling me about this thing he did. And I said, why don't you come up in the summer? We'll do it as a family reunion. You run the camp. I'll get the funding with sponsors. We'll get local athletes involved. And now we're in year 14. And it's really cool. I mean, there's about 1,200 kids who have come through the camp in 14 years. So it's really special.
I know it's not about you and your brother and your family, but what do you guys get out of this?
We get a family reunion. Every night we do a cooking contest. We do a barbecue, and each family has to take a night where they cook. I have Wednesday night. We're going to do a little Asian dish on Wednesday night. I'm going to throw a little curveball. There's too much red meat in the diet right now, I think, for this family. There's a lot of steak and tri-tip and ribs.
Yeah.
Barbecued ribs, tri-tip. So we're going to do a little Asian dish on Wednesday night. We won't win. We're not going to win the competition, the cooking competition with that. But we get to come together. Like my sister works the check-in. My kids, my oldest daughter is a camp counselor. She's flown in from out of state graduate school to work this week. My two little kids are in the camp. My mom's a nurse. She's working the first aid station. My dad is like the equipment guy. We're all out here.
Phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. I just think the more people can give back and do things, especially when you have the platform to do it. And then on top of that, especially something like this for kids that just would not normally get these opportunities. So I don't think you realize, and maybe you do to a small part, but realize what type of impact you're having on these kids. Well done.
The kids and then sponsors too. It's cool to see, my main sponsors of my platforms all buy in and they get it. And it makes me feel good about doing business with them. This is like look behind you, look at your sponsors that sponsor this segment. And Limbeck Lumber Studios, and they buy in because they believe in you and what you're doing, and you're a good person, Puck.
All right, let's go. Well, we're gonna put that on repeat during the show.
That's a promo.
Yeah, it is a promo.
You're at the gates of heaven. They'll say,
Hopefully.
"Hey, Canzano said you were a good person. Come on in."
College football is here. I want to play something for you. That's Heather Dinich, who's been covering college football for a long time, works for ESPN. She was asked, she's at SEC Media Days, asked about this. I don't know, a rumor now. It feels like this is gaining momentum and we've talked about it before. This isn't anything new, of the SEC really thinking about leaving and kind of forming their own league.
It's very real, and this is something that has been going on for months because SEC presidents and chancellors have been talking about this since about February when they met in Nashville to talk about options of self-governance if they cannot get federal legislation. I mean, that's where the conversations are. And you can look at the Big 12 and the Texas Tech incident with Brendan Sorsby as an example of what this means. Because when you're talking about breaking away from the NCAA, you're talking about making and enforcing your own rules. In that case, the NCAA wasn't able to enforce its own rules on gambling. So the SEC, and Greg Sankey will tell you, we already do make some of our rules and enforce them. But if they can't get help from the federal government, get some antitrust protection so that every time they try to make a rule, the NCAA, they don't get turned around and somebody sues them for it. That's what these conversations are about.
John, what do you make of what she said there at the SEC Media Days?
It's not lost on me that she's on ESPN's platform. That's the media partner for the SEC. I mean, that's number one. You have to know who's running this and who is really behind the scenes. This is ESPN saying, hey, we would support the SEC breaking away. There's some problems with that. Bob Thompson, the former Fox Sports Network's president, and I talked about this about a week ago, and he said that, he felt like the appetite for something like this had to be like 30 to 40 teams. And not enough to just be the SEC. And he said that he felt like because of that, they would have to step outside. They'd have to implode the SEC. They'd have to implode the Big Ten and then just take the best 32 or the best 36 and say, okay, we'll have at it. And I asked him, what would be the value, the media value of that? And he says, well, I need to know who's involved. Vanderbilt's not going to move the needle, right? Kentucky's not going to move the needle. It's not enough to Georgia, Alabama, LSU, of course, do. But so I think this is more negotiating by the SEC, but I think they're using ESPN's platform to do that bidding. And I think it's a little bit shameful to see ESPN fall into this, but it's kind of the relationship they're in. They're no longer a news network. They are a propaganda machine.
Don't you think they'd want to see this? Let's say they create a league that includes, I'm not going to go through every team in the SEC, but you know who the heavy hitters are.
Yeah, it's not
so
enough,
the heavy hitters, but the heavy hitters of the SEC.
Yeah.
But then it also includes schools like Notre Dame.
Okay.
The heavy hitters from the Big Ten, which are Michigan and Ohio State. Maybe throw Penn State in there as well. Notre Dame, Clemson, Florida State, Miami. I guess USC. Would Oregon be in this group? I guess maybe. I mean, what do you think Bob Thompson would say about that? To me, I think ESPN would be like, they'd be salivating for something like this.
The only problem you have with that is the timing of these media deals would have to line up, and they currently don't. Like you have some of these deals that expire in 2030, 2032, 2034, 2036. And so what happens in that 2 to 4 year period with some of these schools that say, hey, we're going to this new entity, but we can't get out of our media deal yet.
Right.
Also, is Fox on board with this? Are they getting a piece of this? Or is this just ESPN saying they want to be first to market with the SEC schools and create their own thing? Here's the other thing I would say, and Sankey admitted this. I mean, Heather Dinich is a good reporter. Sankey admitted this, that they're already calling the shots, Puck. They're not beholden to all these NCAA rules. So it's why I kind of think that this is much ado about nothing, that this is just a talking point in the SEC. And by the way, the presidents run the SEC. The ADs run the Big Ten. I think that's a very different conversation. So I think the presidents in the SEC, let's go form our own thing. The presidents in the Big Ten are more academics. They're not at the tailgate. They don't know who the backup left tackle is. The SEC presidents do. The ADs in the Big Ten, the coaches in the Big Ten run that conference. I think that's a big distinction.
Okay.
So I think there's a little bit of a disconnect on trying to get everybody on the same page with the timing of this. I also think you're going to get pushback, and you already see it in this Save College Sports legislation. Everybody's asking, why does Senator Ted Cruz support this? He's a Texas guy, right? Texas is in the SEC. He should not be on board with this legislation, and yet he's co-sponsoring it with Elizabeth Cantwell. And the reason is, in the state of Texas, you've got Texas State, TCU, Baylor, Houston. You got Rice. You have more of those schools than you do the SEC powers. And so I think you would get some legislative pushback. I think they would not offer them antitrust exemptions. And I think they would say, hey, you got a real problem here because you're destabilizing everybody else to go do this thing, which, by the way, you already have the market cornered. So why not just play ball? This feels to me like it's a political move by the SEC to float this out there. I don't think it actually has legs.
Okay, no legs, because Kirby Smart was asked about it. He said, quote, yeah, I've actually been there for a long time. Like Kirby Smart's like, I want out of here. So do they just want the end game is to have somebody govern all of it, including them and everybody else? Or are there some that truly just want to get away from everything and just play their own teams there in the SEC? Because I read that with Kirby Smart, and he feels like he just wants to play teams in the SEC, and that's it, because that's where the true football's played.
Well, go have at it, and the market won't lie. I mean, if you're just playing SEC games all year and you just crown an SEC champion at the end, are you reaping the media dollars that you're currently getting out of the college football playoff? I don't think you are. Okay. And I think that national appeal is what appeals to Fox and ESPN when they hold this tournament, even though the team furthest west that has ever won a CFP title is LSU. That is the most Western school to win a title in the CFP era, last 14 years. So I think what they're really saying is we don't want to deal with the NCAA, and that's fine. You've already formed the college football playoff. It's its own thing. So yeah, if you want to go have no governance from the NCAA, I think you'd get more support than just 30 to 40 schools. You might be able to split football away. You might be able, as Charlie Baker floated out there, get back to regional competition in the Olympic sports, and then, break the conferences down again more regionally. Put Oregon and Washington and USC and UCLA in a conference with, whoever else in the West you think is funding at that level. Could it be Washington State and Oregon State again? Create these conferences again, get back to playing normal competition. But I am not bullish on the Super League happening.
Yeah. Okay.
I think there's too much runway, too many things that don't line up right now.
Before you go, you wrote about it today, JohnCanzano.com. There's a lengthy story written up by The Athletic by Jason Quick, a longtime Blazers reporter. When I was down there, was the Oregonian, and he's been at The Athletic for a while, so he's been connected with Portland. What's the latest with Dundon? It seems like the city offered something to them this past Friday, a goodwill gesture, like we want to work with you, but the playbook with Clay Bennett, because that's where he's going from, is I'm not going to work with you, and they've been silent. Get people up to date what the very latest is happening right now in Portland with Dundon in the city.
Well, Tom Dundon and his group buy 80% of the team. Jody Allen, first of all, let's start with her. She could have done what Glenn Taylor did in Minnesota. She could have done what the family did with the Milwaukee Bucks, put some language in the deal that said you can't move the team, or extended the lease before the sale so that you remove the possibility of them leaving. She didn't do that. She negotiated a 5-year lease with Portland. A lot of bad feelings in the Portland area for Jody Allen because, she basically used the portability of the Blazers as a sale point. And sold to a guy who looks like he has one foot out the door. City officials tell me that Dundon has been unwilling to come to the table. They did a smart thing on Friday. They put their term sheet out for the public. They said, hey, we're willing to put $573 million of public money into the arena renovations. Here it is. Boom. Spelled it out. They put some things in this deal that didn't look to me like a first offer. It looked more polished than that. I think what they were trying to do was just kind of be transparent and show the NBA, hey, we're willing to play ball. Look at this. This is a very reasonable offer we're making to Tom Dundon. I kind of expected Dundon wouldn't reply to that or wouldn't even respond. Instead, he went to the Athletic, and the quote that came from Camp Dundon is, "This is a non-starter," right? It's right from the Clay Bennett playbook. It's not, "Hey, we're going to review this. We'll get back to the city. We're going to sit down with him." None of that. It was, basically a straight arm. And so now I think, I'm looking at Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, and I'm wondering, at what point does he more forcefully interject himself into this? Because a couple things going on. Seattle expansion, right in your backyard. The Sonics are not going to be reborn until they get this Blazers thing fixed. Mm-hmm. They won't do that. And so if I'm Adam Silver, I turn to the Board of Governors and I go, look, Portland's willing to deal with Tom Dundon. We can't expand in Vegas and Seattle until the Blazers situation is rectified. And I think you can put a little heat on Dundon by saying, hey, you don't have the votes. You don't have the 3/4 of owner votes to move this franchise. So get in that room and negotiate and get the best deal you can. I think that's the move of Adam Silver. It's not heavy-handed. It's not you can't move the team. It's just, hey, you don't have the votes, and everybody's ready to move on and spend that money that they're going to make in expansion. So it's messy here. There's a lot of hand-wringing. I don't think Dundon wants to keep the team in Portland. I think he wants a new arena. I think he wants it somewhere else. I think it's more likely than not that he tries to move them. And I think the best hope that the city of Portland has, and people in Seattle will relate to this, is that the league comes in and plays mediator here and puts some pressure on Dundon.
Go visit baldfacetruth.org, and there you can find the Camp Exceptional 13 years or 14 years?
14th year.
14th year. Just incredible stuff. You can see a video up there from the camp. It's been going on. And John, you just do great work, you and your entire family.
Thank you, buddy.
Have a great time. Thanks for carving out a few minutes. Good luck on Wednesday. What kind of dish are we making? You said the theme was Asian, but what are we doing?
Well, there's been so much red meat. I think we're going with dumplings, yakisobe, noodles, chicken probably. And then I got to come up with a dessert. You got a dessert idea? Strawberry shortcake? What are we thinking?
Mochi.
Ooh.
Yeah. Right there.
That's why you come to this show.
That's right. See you, John. Thank you. If it's fun you desire, it's fun you're going to get at Flat Stick Pub. It doesn't matter what the occasion is, whether it's date night, guys night, ladies night, or large group event, Flat Stick Pub's got you covered. They have 6 great locations across the Pacific Northwest, from Pioneer Square to Kirkland, South Lake Union, Spokane, Bellingham, and Redmond. All locations offer the best pub experience in Washington. 2 rules at Flat Stick Pub: drink local and have fun. Pretty simple. So if you like to have fun, love local beer, and great tasting food, make Flat Stick Pub your next spot. Visit them at flatstickpub.com. Thanks to John Canzano for joining us on his weekly appearance, brought to you by Flat Stick Pub. That entire podcast will be up later, part of the whole Daily Puck Drop, but we also just isolate the video as well if you just want to watch John's beautiful bald head. And again, go visit baldfacetruth.org/camp exceptional. Get more information on the camp that he is doing right now this week in Portland. All right, we go over to baseball. We talk a little Mariners, as always, every Tuesday with our good friend, not the fake, but the real Brad Adam from Mariners Television. His weekly conversation brought to you by the John Howie Empire, Sea-Star Restaurant and Raw Bar, but also John Howie Steak, Beardsley Public House, Whiskey by John Howie. He does it all. On this week's show there with Brad, we caught up with him this morning. We talked about the state of the Mariners coming off a huge win there on Monday, just from the point of view of getting Cal Raleigh. Was Monday's game the game that sparks Cal Raleigh? We also talk about the trade deadline. Would we be surprised if all 6 starters are back? And our guy Brad throws out an interesting name that could help the team coming up later this summer, and he's right under our noses. He's down in Tacoma. All right, we talk baseball with Brad Adam, Mariners Television, brought to you by Sea-Star Restaurant, Raw Bar, and John Howie Steak. You want excellence in dining? Visit John Howie Steak, an experienced premier Northwest dining. Prime custom-aged steaks, award-winning wine, unmatched level of service. You won't be disappointed. Make your next reservation today at johnhowiesteak.com. It's been a while, but he's back. We're back together.
Too long.
It's been too long. I was on vacation, then you on vacation. Now we are back together. The real Brad Adam. He's brought to you by Sea Star Restaurant and Raw Bar, located in beautiful Bellevue, Washington. Book your next reservation today at seastarrestaurant.com. Of course, a part of the John Howie empire. You got John Howie Steak, Wildwood Spirits, Beardsley Public House. We got it all. And you know what they have? They started this about a week ago. They called the Roll the Dice.
Love
Roll the dice at Sea Star and also
gambling
at
for
John
you.
Howie. Yes. It's gambling and eating at the same time. You enjoy your meal as you always would, and then at the end of the meal at Sea Star and at John Howie, when your check is presented to you, you're going to get the opportunity, you and me, and well, probably not you and me, but the guest,
Right.
an opportunity to roll the dice. You'll be provided a cup with 6-sided common dice inside. You roll the dice. And if you roll a combination total of 6, you are going to be the winner. That's all you got to do.
Wow.
And he's going to buy your meal if you win.
That's right. Free food. Yeah.
All you got to do is roll a 6. Combo of what? 1, 5, 2, 4, 3, 3. And all your food, everything's taken care of. That's the type of guy John Howie is at Sea Star.
Odds are in your favor.
The odds are in your favor.
All you got to do is go, eat, and get a free meal. Basically, you're going to get a free meal every time.
Yeah, you're going to get, and even if you don't roll a 6, you're still eating fabulous food at John Howie Steak and also at Sea Star Restaurant in Raw Bar. Again, go visit them today. Book your next reservation, seastarrestaurant.com. All right, it's been a while since you and I have talked. This team has been up and down. We got the All-Star break. You know, they start the second half, or not, with a dud in the opener against the Giants. They end up regrouping. They take 2 out of 3 from San Francisco. They're in a tight one to start the series with the Reds, and then they blow it open against Cincinnati, thanks to a grand slam home run by Cal Raleigh, because you tell me, how much money would I have had to give you in the beginning of the season to tell you that on July 20th, Terry Francona, who's considered one of the best managers in baseball, is going to intentionally walk Dom frickin' Canzano
with a lefty on the mound.
With a lefty who's not even good.
When you watch the replay, watch Dom.
He could face a guy who hit 60 home runs the previous season, who is a switch hitter, who's going to flip back to the right side. How much money would I have to give you to convince you that actually took place?
Enough where I would probably not have to work ever again, Puck. But I would work. I would do this show.
Yeah,
even when I retire with millions from the lottery or whatever, I would still do the show. And Frank, it's funny. You look at the replay and Dom's like, what? He's walking me? Like, what? So he goes, and then, Francona says afterwards, he's hitting 990 OPS against lefties. Cal's not doing much, I know, but it didn't work out. It's the worst possible outcome. And you're like, well, yeah, it really was. And remember, Caleb Ferguson, a lefty, for the Mariners last year.
Sure. So, Ferguson.
First pitch, just a meatball of a
terrible last year.
It's why he's not with the Mariners anymore.
Yeah, he was awful. He was awful last year.
But you hope, and then you listen to Cal after, and I tell you, when he speaks, he doesn't say a whole lot, and he doesn't talk a whole lot to the media. But when he does, it's just so direct. It's like Jay Buhner back in the day. It's just direct. It's like, hey, we had no energy. We were not playing well. And now these last 3 games are starting to pick things up. He likes the direction they're heading. He likes where they're going, which is great. It's great to hear that, something changed. Maybe it was the Cole Young home run on Saturday, winning that game in extras, getting Julio back. And you hope he's back. We're not sure if he's going to miss a game or 2 with that injury. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and the opponents, whatever. The Giants are terrible, and the
Reds are even worse. So let's win these 2 series. And then you've got a really big road trip. The guys were talking about it yesterday. 4 in Texas, which Texas doesn't scare me. I'm not sure how they're hanging around. And then they're okay. Yeah. And then you go, play the Dodgers and kind of measure yourself against them. Ohtani's not going to pitch. He's out a while pitching, but they're still the Dodgers. So, I mean, that's a fun road trip, big opportunities. And you like the way kind of they're playing and coming together. You hope JP and Julio maybe will miss, just last night's game, maybe today. You hope that they're going to be there for that entire road trip. But
so is it
a good spot right now?
Is it Julio's hamstring or his ass? Because I keep hearing people say, well, he grabbed his hamstring. And I'm like, I watched the replay 10 times.
What'd you think?
He grabbed his butt.
Little glute there?
He grabbed his butt where the ball hit. He didn't grab his You grab your hamstring, you go way down. He grabbed his butt.
Yeah, it was maybe upper hamstring.
I don't know.
Lower glute. Yeah, the ball hit him, and he kind of,
I'm
stretched.
a doctor, Brad, if you don't know. I know these things.
Yeah, and stretched out and hit the base with that left leg. And Dan Wilson saying last night he doesn't think it's going to be serious. But you got to be careful with hamstrings or glutes or whatever that's going to be. So maybe he gives him a day. I'm not sure. JP's got that sore wrist, which is probably just day-to-day.
Catch a break.
It's tough. I know, right?
But
hey, kudos to Colt Emerson, right? 21st birthday yesterday. He has the day off. He's feeling good. He's planning, what he's doing to celebrate. And then they're like, oh, hey, you got to play, by the way. And he has a sac fly and an infield single on his 21st. So it was good.
He made that great play, almost turned that double play. That was fabulous. That was a beautiful thing to watch. I love watching that slow-mo. It was wonderful.
Yeah. And then Weston Wilson coming in and hitting an RBI double when Julio comes out in the 6th, just right off the bench. I mean, good contributions. You're right. And Brendan Donovan's there getting closer.
Sure.
So
well, what's the time frame? What do we know?
When he started, it was like, 10 to 14 days. They want him to play. He's not playing every day. He's played a few games in Everett and Tacoma. He was working out yesterday at T-Mobile Park. He's going to go back to Tacoma, play some more games. Just kind of how he feels and how he's able to bounce back. Who knows, right? 10-ish days, but it just depends on how he feels, but getting closer, feeling better. And it'd be great to have him back there in the lineup, bouncing around a lot, spelling guys, giving everybody days off. It's going to be, a good lineup, fun when they get all back together. It's been a while, right? Since they've all been back.
What was the JP thing?
Sore wrist is what Dan Wilson said. I'm not sure which one or what happened.
Did he do it in the pregame? I mean, he was in the lineup.
I know it didn't. I don't know. There's very, very tight-lipped over there about injuries, which is fine.
They don't give you much, do they?
They don't. No, they don't.
Not even you, and you've got more. You got inside access like
let's go.
More so than anyone.
I'll find out the real scoop today, though. No.
Yeah, I want the real scoop. What about Brash? I'm just going to go at this all year long because I think sometimes when you're negative and you don't expect something to happen. I used to do this when I was a kid for Christmas presents. I'm not going to get that ad. I'm not going to get the X-Wing fighter. Not going to happen. I know they're not going to buy me.
And then
the Death Star for Star Wars, and they're not going to do it. I just know they're not. And then I'd see it.
Yes.
In the morning, and when I'd wake up, I get real surprised. So I'm not banking on him coming back.
Oh, just at all.
At all.
Okay. I like that. So when he does come back,
nervous
you're going to feel great.
That's been a long. When's he been out? Since June, first week?
Yeah, it sounds about right with that lat strain. Carlos Vargas been out all year with the lat strain, but they're thinking he's earlier August, Brash mid-August.
See, that's what I'm saying. Vargas has been out all year.
Yes, lat strain. So we'll see.
Do you know anything? Got any inside knowledge?
Haven't seen him. No, he's starting.
Haven't seen him at all, right?
He hadn't been around at all. No, starting maybe a throwing program. I'm not sure where he is. Maybe Arizona.
Well, he has to be. Where else would he be?
Yeah.
He's not going to be in.
Not going to be here.
Where's he in Arkansas?
No.
Let's see in Arkansas. He's in Everett.
No.
Poor guy.
Just throwing. No, he's starting to throw is what I've heard the latest with him. But, the pen, I know they're short and they're missing guys for sure. But I tell you, the turnaround last 10, 11 appearances for Munoz has been.
It's been great.
Eye-opening. It's like, this is the Munoz. This is the closer that they need. The last two outings, he got out in the 9th in 9 pitches in each inning.
Yeah.
So that's a really good sign. They maybe add some arms at this deadline coming up and fortify that pen. But yet when he is on his game, it changes everything for them.
And that brings us to the question, right? We're August 3rd, so we are getting closer. We're
2 weeks.
Yeah, well, less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
From the deadline, and they got to do something.
Yeah, they're thinking arms. That's what they're saying, and it's what a lot of teams need. Right, at the deadline, it's those good high leverage arms in the pen.
Would you be surprised if they kept all 6 starters?
I would not be surprised either way. If they're able to swing a deal for one of the guys, Excuse me.
That's a non-answer. What are you running for? What are you running for office?
Well, would you be surprised if they have 6?
I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised if they keep them all.
You think that?
I would be surprised
Jeez,
if
what's happening?
Are you smoking
Need to
again?
drink some a little bit after that.
You're like me when I went to Spain.
Ah, jeez. I tell you what, you'd be proud of me.
Grab
Holland
something
America
to drink.
Cruise.
You got?
Hey, I don't. Shout out Holland America Cruise. My God,
you're gonna die. We might see you die.
This might be it.
This might be it for you.
I want you to know, Puck, I've always appreciated you and enjoyed our friendship.
Get some water. You're fine.
I can't get up.
You'd
be proud of me.
Go get up.
On this cruise, Alaska cruise, I decided to just let it go. And I put on like almost 7 pounds.
Good for you.
In the week. Well, all I can eat and drink. It was.
No one can see it on you, so you're fine.
You can see it.
Well,
I appreciate it. That's why I'm going.
I'll show you. I'll show you weight, my friend.
So, if they were able to move Castillo or another starter, would not surprise me. If they don't, it wouldn't surprise me either. The focus is on bullpen guys. I know that. And maybe a right-handed bat. But you know what? This kid, Michael Arroyo, is raking in AAA, and he might be a guy, maybe.
Really?
He hits lefties. Maybe he comes up and he's that right-handed platoon. Maybe.
Come on.
I know.
A deadline acquisition of a rookie who's never been up in the majors is not going to really be the thing that pushes it over the line for me. But
I agree.
Yeah, I would be shocked specifically if Castillo's still on this team. I would be.
You'd be shocked. Okay.
Yeah, I would be. I would not. And I mean, I don't want him to go. It's not like I'm trying to push him out the door. But yeah, I would be. Maybe shock's too strong of a word. I'd be surprised. You know, there was a Jim Bowden trade rumor. I think he was not even reporting that this is what's being talked about, just what he would throw out there. It would be George Kirby going to the Giants for God, who was it? I had it right in front of me.
Who would they want from that team?
Casey Schmidt.
It was okay.
Utility player and a left-hand reliever, Eric Miller. Now, I wouldn't. There's no way I would do it. Casey Schmidt, by the way, in the last month has been terrible. Awful.
Right.
He's had a great start to the season, and he's mashed, and he's a right-hand utility guy, plays everywhere, primarily third base, crushes lefties.
Right.
But this is the only year he's ever done it. He's never done it before.
Right.
I'm not trading. I'm not trading
George
Kirby.
No.
No way. Not for that.
No.
So.
And you got to eat some money with Castillo, so it'd be kind of interesting to see if they can make a deal with someone and what do you get in return. You got to throw in a prospect, to pay less money.
So are there talks about Arroyo or what? What are you hearing? You hearing that or?
I was just talking to the guys from Tacoma, one of the broadcasters there, and just one of our scouts who said that they think that he's more big league ready. And not to say that he or Laz Montez is coming up this year, just saying that more major league ready right now. They think Arroyo has more of a spot because he can hit lefties.
Okay.
And Laz is just kind of still a lot of strikeouts, big swing, huge power, but it doesn't really fit, I guess, maybe on the team this year when you got Canzano kind of filling that same role.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't know. I mean, and probably be surprised if either one of those guys comes up this year, but that is an option and what guys are thinking that, the more major league ready, Arroyo would be the guy.
Okay. Well, they'll finish their series with the Reds, and then you touched on they're going to go on a road trip, right? The Rangers and then the LA Dodgers. So how many golf rounds have been lined up in Texas and in LA? Are we trying to get on a Riviera when we're in LA or
no? I actually am playing. It's a nice story. Playing with my old high school basketball coach.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, he belongs to this little club, which is a 9-hole. You play twice, different set of tees to get 18. Sure. So we're going to play. And then it's a family trip for the Mariners. And Heidi, my wife, is coming. And she has let me play on Thursday, the off day, in the morning.
Good.
And I said, you're the best. So
she is. She's
playing Thursday, the off
day.
Saint. I think she's going to probably enjoy her spa time.
As she should.
Better without me. Yeah, she doesn't need me there. So I got 2 rounds right now, but we'll see. We'll see if we build on that, or maybe get some more practice in, Puck. Just
go play.
Just go play.
Play helps. Play helps with it, okay? And if you don't know, Brad is like DeChambeau. He gets in the rough. He stomps all around.
I do.
To get a better lie.
But I tell you I do. I don't try to hide it.
Yeah. I'm just going to do it right now. All right.
And if a branch is behind me, I move the ball or knock the branch down.
It's great.
We're not pros.
No, we're not. It's great to see your smiling face. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you, buddy.
Welcome to Hive Social, the social network that brings your real-world proximity to life. Tired of endless scrolling and fake connections? Privacy is built into the heart of Hive with easy-to-set-up safety fences and visibility controls. Whether you're here to hang out, network, or meet someone new, create events, share photos and videos, and keep the conversation going with built-in chats for every connection and every moment. Download now and see what's happening around you.
Get to On This Day, brought to you by Hive Social. In just a quick second, big thanks again to Brad Adam, his weekly appearance brought to you by C-Star Restaurant and Raw Bar. Book your next reservation today, cstarrestaurant.com. Also, John Howie Steak. And again, get in there at C-Star. At the end of the meal, and also at John Howie, right now they got this great promotion going, roll the dice. If you roll, they give you a dice at the end of the meal when your check comes. If you roll a 6, a combo of any that gets you to a 6, they're going to pay for your meal. Come on. JohnHowieSteak.com, CStarRestaurant.com. Book your next reservation today. Your meal may be free. John may pick it up. We will I thought it was interesting when he threw out there about Michael Arroyo at the end. And not to say that Arroyo would come up and help right away and help this year, but that he's more major league ready because he's been then, I think Brad's point was then Laz Montes both called up to Tacoma because of his ability to hit lefties. But we'll see. That's the thing with Arroyo. He can hit. It's just, where is he going to play? Not going to play second base over Cole Young. All right, On This Day, brought to you by Hive Social, the official Puck Sports social meetup app. We look at things, birthdays, sports events, anything that happens on this day. And today is July 21st. And we got one birthday to hand out to you. He was a World Cup sensation, Erling Haaland, born on this day in 2000. The Norwegian star caught America, of course, by storm during the Cup. Haaland plays professionally at Manchester City. He was actually born in England. I didn't know this, but at the age of 3, moved to Norway because that's where his parents were originally from. At the age, this is crazy. At the age of 5, he joined his local club team. What's amazing about it, 5 kids from this team when they were 5 years old went on to play for the Norwegian youth national teams. Unbelievable. Happy 26th birthday going out to Erling Haaland. On this day, Sue Bird played in her 500th career game. She spent her entire career, of course, with the Storm. She won 4 championships. She set the all-time record in assists in the WNBA. Finally, in 1973 in Major League Baseball, he's been in the news a lot this week. It feels like Hammer and Hank Aaron joins the 700 Club.
Darrell Evans, second base, nobody out. High towering drive, this may be it. There it goes, home run, number 700 for Henry Aaron.
Run king, not Barry Bonds, Hank Aaron on this day, July 21st, hitting his 700th career home run. On this day, of course, brought to you by Hive Social, the official Puck Sports social media app. Download it, Google Play, and iOS today. We conclude every single show with Hey, What the Puck? It's brought to you by Tersuli Construction. From emergency response to full-scale rebuilds and remodels, full-service contractor, they're going to handle your project from start to finish. Locally owned and operated out of Ballard and proudly serving the Puget Sound for over 15 years. If you're dealing with damage or planning what's next, call the team that does it all, Tersuli Construction, 206-793-3744. Visit them, tersuli.com. Restoring what matters and building what's next. A big bloodbath day here in media, not here locally, but we have been affected locally, but nationally. ESPN making a bunch of changes, and some you'll agree with and some that you won't, and that happens, right? It's just the way that you consume sports. I grew up, like many of you, on ESPN and Sports Center and all of that. It's probably why I was so interested in getting in this business. You know, what has happened to ESPN, and I'm not going to sit here and say I don't watch it anymore and I never tune it on, but I don't watch it like I used to. And really, if it's not Van Pelt on SportsCenter, I really don't watch SportsCenter. Very few people that I like. The other prominent SportsCenter show, the one with Michael Eaves and the other woman, I cannot watch it. I want when they did ESPN News, I just want SportsCenter to come back where there's two people sitting up there, and for an hour, they go through all the highlights of everything. It's why I love Quick Pitch every single night. 30 minutes, they go through all the highlights. I just want highlights. Now, again, I'm a dinosaur. I'm in the minority on this one. Because I think a lot of you out there, because that's why they're paying millions and millions of dollars to guys like Pat McAfee and Stephen A. Smith and all these other guys, the screaming, yelling shows. It's because it sells. People tune in and watch it. I'm not going to say it's a badge of honor, but I don't watch it, but it's not for me. But it's for a lot of you out there, and they know it, or they wouldn't pay these people all this money. And this is why they're firing everyone. And it's not a shot at guys like Stephen A. Smith or Pat McAfee. That corporation has deemed them important enough to pay them all the money in the world. But it comes at a cost, and people lose their jobs. The biggest one yesterday was Ryan Clark apparently being told on the set during a break. It's unbelievable. Before it, I guess, got out. Charles Davis, who came over the NFL Network merger, he is out today. David Lloyd, he's a longtime SportsCenter anchor, been there forever. He's out. Cam Newton is out. He's been with the corporation for a little bit. Bart Scott is out. Tom Pelissero, who was also part of that NFL Network merger. We know about Ian Rappaport. I'll be honest with you, I don't know about Garofalo. I haven't really asked him about it. I've kind of kept low profile, other than I just sent him a text yesterday. Are we good for this season of football again? And he said thumbs up. So I think that's a good sign. I think the one that bothers me, and I don't know if it bothers you, is Carl Ravitch. 33 years he's been at that network. And Carl Ravitch has done it all. A lot of baseball Tonight. He hosts a lot of baseball, does a lot of baseball play-by-play, does some basketball. Little League World Series is coming up. I don't know who they're going to put there. I like Carl Ravitch. He's professional. He does his job. He's not yelling at you. I think he's a good broadcaster. It's what they used to hire there, just good broadcasters, giving you the news. Straightforward, not yelling at you, not trying to be funny. And again, there's a place for the funny because I like Dan Patrick and I like Stuart Scott. It just has not become what it used to be, and maybe that nothing is. It's not the same ESPN that I watch anymore. It's a propaganda machine that you see in college football with the SEC. All they talk about all they talk about. I flipped it on when I got back from Spain. The first thing I saw. We are deep in the heart of baseball season in the World Cup. Can the Dallas Cowboys win the Super Bowl? It's just rinse and repeat. That's all they talk about. Dallas Cowboys, SEC football, and where is LeBron going to play? And it's nauseating. Again, as I mentioned, the only show you can really watch anymore, at least for me, is Van Pelt. That's the only one I can stomach. Not stomach. I like Van Pelt. That's it. And it's a shame what they've done to it. And a lot of people losing their jobs today. Just an absolute bloodbath over there at ESPN. Just wish it. I just wish a network would come in and just show me highlights of everything and interviews and post game and all that. Not all the other BS. Just want highlights, like how SportsCenter used to be. That's Hey What the Puck, brought to you by Tersuli Construction. Construction, restoring what matters and building what's next. Okay? All right, that's it for us here today on a Tuesday. Thank you for everyone watching and listening. Again, you can listen to the live show on the Puck Sports mobile app. Download it, Android, and also the Apple, iOS, and Google Play. Bugs have been fixed, I think. So if you want to listen to it live, that's why the app was created, by the way. Not to watch it later or listen to shows later, just for the live feature. But thank you to all our sponsors watching and listening, or for supporting, and thank you for watching and listening. You can find the Daily Puck Drop up on YouTube. When you're there, please hit that subscribe button. You may watch the videos, but not a subscriber. Hit that like button, leave a comment, try to get to as many as I can. Plus, find the Daily Puck Drop on favorite podcast platforms, Apple and Spotify. Please, when you're there, Rate the show and write a review. It helps. It helps us kind of climb the charts. Also, visit pucksports.com. There you can sign up to become a Pucks Posse member. If you'd like to be a member and listen to the bonus shows that we have, Sports Pit on Tuesdays with Stretch, Wednesdays with Ryan Divish, Inside Pitch, and Thursdays with Mitchie the Kid, but you're like, I don't have the money. Times are tough. Send me an email, puck@pucksports.com. I try to take care of everyone that I possibly can. I want everyone to have access to it. If you can pay, great. If you can't, totally understand. Also, check out the Graz with Gas Take 5 podcast. New episode came out yesterday. Tuesday's in the books. Wednesday, we welcome the go-to guy back. I think we have Rob Staten on. We ramping up our NFL coverage this week because training camp. And, of course, Inside Pitch with Ryan Divish. Tuesday in the books. We'll see you tomorrow. As always, I promise to be better.
No shirt, no shoes, no ties.
Would anybody like to smoke some pot?
Yeah. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rub you, but you were born to rub me first.
What do you need my address for? We'd like to send out a mailer.
Mother of mercy, I don't speak Japanese!